Robin Wilson with Better Business Planning, and this is Risky Business. We'll be learning from leaders about their successes and also hearing about some of the stumbling blocks they may have encountered along the way. So today we're here with Rosemary Swierk from Direct Steel and Construction, and she is also the 2014 recipient of the Women's Business Development Center's Entrepreneur of the Year, a national award, which is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. As an entrepreneur, a lot of times you're on your own, and to be recognized for a lot of hard work is really emboldening.
Absolutely.
Yeah, quite an honor.
And so what does that mean? What does the award mean? Do you get to teach others this year, or?
I think it's intended to be just a recognition. So, the Women's Business Development Center has been tracking direct steel and construction for many years, and I think that they recognize everything that goes into being an entrepreneur and also giving back. And it really is an honor to be recognized.
Absolutely.
For the achievements.
Absolutely. So thank you for being here.
I appreciate it.
And so can you tell us about Direct Steel?
Sure. Direct Steel and Construction is a facility solution provider. We offer services in the commercial construction industry, such as construction management, general contracting. But in addition to that, we offer services that provide even more value to our clients. Strategic facility planning, feasibility studies, floor planning, budgeting, estimating, all the way to turnkey construction, and with the goal of providing the best value in terms of scope, budget, schedule, in relationship to quality.
Great. So construction is historically extremely male-dominated. So have you always had an interest in construction, or how did you get involved in this business?
Certainly, this was not a career path that I had tracked out since a little kid. However, my grandfather was a construction manager for 3 generations in Marshall Fields, but that really didn't resonate with me until several years ago. I was a marketing and advertising major at Indiana University, and Black & Decker hired me out of school. So I traveled all south in the Mason-Dixon line, and then they did well, and they promoted me and put me in Boston, and I did well there. And I was recruited out of there by an independent manufacturer's rep based out of Chicagoland area. So again, I was selling very feminine products, toolboxes, abrasive wheels, adhesives, and lubricants, and it did very well. In that time frame, I met my husband. We got married. We started talking about kids, but both of us felt it was important one of us stay home. But my husband didn't want to stay home. So I helped him start his firm, his company, and after a couple of years, it was clear that he was going to be able to pay the bills. And I got pregnant, and with the understanding that I likely was going to stop working. But I kept passing this dilapidated building. And I came home one day and told my husband I had put an offer in on the building. So I'm pregnant, I'm rehabbing this building, and I'm 8 months pregnant, and the painter doesn't show up, so I put a respirator on and I finished painting. But one of my tenants was a bank. And I'm looking at this business plan, and I'm like, this is a viable business. So as my kids were young, and I kept buying dilapidated buildings and fixing up and rehabbing them, and the projects got larger, and then I did ground-up construction. I was doing shopping centers. And at that point, this manufacturer of pre-engineered metal buildings contacted me and said, "Hey, Rosemary, we see what you're doing. Would you be interested in being an authorized builder for us?" And at that point, my kids are little, my parents are aging, I help my husband with his firm, and I've got this whole portfolio of real estate. They said, "Don't worry, just do it at your own pace." So a couple times a year, I would general contract for someone else. Those clients are still my clients today. It's very rewarding. When one of my daughters was in 3rd grade, the school district put 38 kids in her class, and I felt that was almost criminal. I asked my kids if they wanted to be homeschooled, and they quickly said no. So I asked them, how about if we move to an area where I wouldn't have to work on another education on a Friday? And with that, we moved, but I was maxed out. There's only so much that a person can handle. So I looked at my different businesses, and the path of least resistance from my perspective was put a 3-day ad in the Chicago Tribune for most of my real estate holdings, and that was about 2005. And they sold very competitive rates. In retrospect, which was the peak of the market, I just got lucky. But as we fast forward to 2009, the economy's tanked. I'm taking a look again at the business plans. My kids are older. My dad has since passed away. And I can, at this point, focus on one of these businesses. And I had never marketed direct steel and construction. But who's doing construction in 2009? Well, the federal government. So with the help of people like the WBDC and the PTAC centers and the Small Business Development Center, I was able to market the federal government work. So we were able to secure projects with the Army Corps of Engineers, Department of Energy, NAVFAC, VA, and allowed us to stay afloat. And in 2012, the private stuff started coming back. So we got to do large tenant finish outs, ground up construction. And now we feel like we have our feet underneath us.
That's great. So I'm sure most people probably know you as this very ambitious, very strong, accomplished woman. But can you tell us maybe about something that may have happened along the way in building this business that was unexpected or unplanned, or maybe left you feeling a little less confident than maybe you normally would be?
Well, as an entrepreneur, anytime you're an entrepreneur, you're taking on risks.
Mm-hmm.
And as you grow, there are more and more risks. And one of the unknowns is you hire people based upon interviews, maybe based upon personality tests, but you really don't get to know that person for many years. So a lot of our situations that we found ourselves in, we would never have imagined. For instance, there was one employee, and we had asked him to go deliver some documents to a client. Granted, this was many years ago. He delivered them. We later learned that he didn't have a driver's license, that it had been suspended. That's a huge inherent risk.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result of that, when employees are hired, and if they're going to do any company driving, that they're required to provide us a copy of their current driver's license. But that's a tough learning lesson. Unfortunately, we're fine on it. Another situation is we had an employee, she was a part-time administrator. She had worked with us for about 6 months, and by all appearances seemed very happy. And her job position was filled with diverse tasks. No one thing that she would be doing for more than 45 minutes at any given time. And after about 6 months, she advised that she had developed carpal tunnel syndrome. So we asked her to connect with her doctor and find out what job restrictions that meant. And she came back and reported that her doctor said that she should avoid repetitive motions and do nothing more than an hour a day. Okay, so we kind of fit into that, and we asked her if she needed to modify anything that she was doing, and she said no. But a week later, she ended up filing a workman's comp claim. So we fought it because we felt that there was nothing that within her job that could have contributed to it. And at first, initially, we were denied. She won that claim, but we appealed it, presented the same information again, and she was denied the claim. So it's all, it turned out that she had a crocheting business, and then she fixed clocks. And so it was likely other things that were really the major contributor.
Sure.
So as an employee, you just never know when or employer, you never know when your next challenge is going to come.
And so what would be, I guess, your best piece of advice then for other business owners or entrepreneurs to, I guess, help combat some of their employee issues or to anticipate some of those challenges?
My biggest suggestion would be to talk with an insurance agent who understands small businesses, who understands the different policies that are out there that are available, and what they cover, but more importantly, what they don't cover. And then also work with an attorney to have a procedures manual and a policy manual that cover anything that they could possibly imagine that could come up.
Great. So thank you for joining us today. You can see more of Rosemary and her business at www.directsteelllc.com, and you can also see her receive her award from the Women's Business Development Center September 17th. You can get your tickets at ewc28.com, and for more videos about risky business, you can check out my channel at www.meetadvisors.com. Thank you.